Hey everyone, so I wanted to show you some of the other possibilities for why your Dracaena looks like this. A lot of the articles that I read online are talking about underwatering or too much sun. And to a degree, I think that is largely a problem. A lot of people get leaf tips like this. You'll see in the article, same picture of this leaf, it actually came off of this guy here. Now, this, if it looks just like this, and that's it, and there's only like a little dark spot, you'll actually see a parlor palm over here that's a pretty good example too. Like that, right? That's what it looks like to get fried by the sun. However, this plant in particular has brown tips, and I have been watering it, and it's been inside. So at that point, if we don't have too much sun and we don't have too little water, what could the problem be? Well, this one I've actually been intentionally watering too much. These are really only supposed to be watered every 2 to 3 weeks. So right now what I've been doing is been watering this once a week because I did this when I first got it and I didn't realize that it had to be watered only every 2 to 3 weeks. And I started getting these brown tips like this. Now there's some, confusion or debate as to whether maybe this could also possibly be humidity. You'll see a lot of articles that talk about humidity. The thing is, the reason why I don't think it's humidity is because I've got another plant that's doing very well in the same place. And in fact, this one probably gets less airflow than this one here because this one's in my office and I keep my window open, and typically that door is not open and this one's just sitting right in the middle. The only thing going for it is it's next to the kitchen, so maybe there's a little bit more humidity. But still, I do end up sitting closer to this plant. My breathing, all that other thing, probably contributes to it to an extent. And I've certainly been putting water in there, which I'm sure has to evaporate into the air too. So being that I've been overwatering it, I've come to the conclusion that most likely this is due to the overwatering. And why I think it's not underwatering is if you look, this leaf right here at the very tip is actually still flexible. Okay, it doesn't break. You can hear it's not crinkly. Okay, so if you got a plant that's got dark brown leaf tips, try watering it less. If you've been watering it once a week, water it like every 2 to 3 weeks. Wait until the soil dries out, because I can tell you that if you look at the sides of this plant here, the center's wet, right? But this stuff is nice and dry. And this is exactly how I had it for a long time. Okay. Now I'm not saying it's good to keep it like that, but if you've got that issue, then you should probably let it dry out like that, just to make sure that it's not overwatering, and then only water every 2 to 3 weeks after that, and you'll start seeing growth like this come out the top. Okay, so this is new growth. And that, unfortunately, is how long you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait for the new stuff to come out. You can see even this one has new healthy growth that's coming out. It tends to be when the leaves get like a little older that they start turning brown. So some of this is also probably to do with it. You'll notice these are just kind of lower on the plant. There are some exceptions where they're a little newer growth, closer to the center. But generally, that's the case. Now, this plant, you can see, got nice green healthy roots here. They can hold a lot of tension. They look good. Now, what I pulled off earlier were a couple roots like this. Okay, that one's obviously dead, it's just dry. But you also have a couple others that I pulled up here. I think it came off of this guy here. Where the root is just clearly dead. So if you look, that one had a nice little snap to it, so it's closer to the live part. But you can see it is still hollow. It's still kind of a brown color. It's not really, not really that light, beautiful green. And to let you know, you're not going to see this if it's covered in dirt. So you want to take some water and spray it. Just get a spray bottle and go like this. Spray your roots off a little bit, and you'll be able to see the color a little bit better. So now you can see it's kind of shiny, but light green, brownish, right? So that's not a healthy root. Not to say that every root that's got a light brown color is going to be dead. But that one isn't exactly healthy. And these are a little bit longer standing, so they're going to have kind of that green tint. Now this plant also needs to be repotted. So what you'll see, if I can get this thing out, is it's got a bunch of beautiful kind of whitish green roots there at the bottom. So these are nice healthy roots. They don't have a problem. You will notice, however, I have definitely overwatered. It's been sitting like that for a while. It doesn't smell yet, but if you keep doing this over time, eventually it will get to that point, and you'll start to experience root rot. Now this guy doesn't have it, but it does show you a little bit here, kind of what that color would be like. The big difference is if you were to press on this part of the stem, if it's mushy, then you've got root rot. So watch out for that. Most likely it may be overwatering. Again, if it's dark brown here, if it's light brown on the tip like that, everywhere, and there's not really any dark brown spots, and you've had this thing in the sun directly, like outside or really close to a window, maybe you should consider it being too much sun. If you just haven't watered it in a long time, again, these things only need to be watered every 2 to 3 weeks. So if you haven't watered in like a month and a half, and you're getting that kind of an issue, then that could probably be the problem. Now they typically recommend that you keep the soil moist. So of course the knuckle test or finger test there, just sticking your finger in like an inch or two deep. If it feels wet down there, then you're good. If it doesn't at that point, and it's been 2 to 3 weeks, then you want to water again. Unless you've got this thing in heavy sun or it's really hot wherever you're keeping it and the water is evaporating fast. Okay, so I hope that helps. Consider overwatering maybe being the issue too, because I know it isn't really talked about as much.